Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
Okay, here we go. I think we're good to go. All right, the advertising break should have just run. I think all my promotions are handled, and thank you for the hydration, Spanish Inquisition. Welcome, welcome. Give me a second, and we'll get straight into this. Here we go. I totally had to go to the bathroom like right before I was gonna start stream, so I am a little bit late tonight. Whoopsie, whoopsie. Anyway, let us get into this. Bammo, hello everybody. It is me, the Coleman, the Blubber VTuber. And yeah, I'm going to be painting up lots of different guys from my social media posts and stuff. Here's the Slaughter Priest I've been working on off stream, well, on stream and off stream. He's almost done. He's got just some touch-ups to really work on, and I feel like his leg needs. I need to look at his leg a bit more because I can't tell if that's supposed to be a leather piece or a armor piece. And because it just looks a little bit too brass along that leg part. But yeah, otherwise the skin came out pretty nicely, surprisingly. And yeah. Also maybe a little bit of dry brushing and extra color on the blade. It's got some trim on the blade to do still. And then the tactical rock and basing. Again, basing, I'm kind of blanking on how I want to do the basing beyond stodge. But we'll figure that out. Then also, I have this disassembled lad over here. And if I was smart, I would have kept the box near me, but I did not. Oh, yes, I did. Aha, here it is. Let me just gimme. So I think is the music soft? Maybe it is. There we go. I got a hold of this guy. Dominion Zephon from the Blood Angels of Horus Heresy. And let's see, was there a better picture? I guess there's a picture here. Basically, he's one of the special named characters from the Horus Heresy series. And apparently, from Tom and Ben of Young's cast, they were talking about him. Notice how he has a robotic foot on one side of his leg. One of his legs is robotic. Apparently, the model has a robotic foot on the wrong leg. It was his right leg that's robotic, not his left leg. And he has the wrong helmet. So it's like, lovely. Of course they made that mistake. But I thought, you know what? That means he might not even be this guy anymore. Which means he's ripe for the kit bashing. Oh, wait, I did actually... He's in such a unique pose, I can't really kit bash him. But he's ripe to be proxied to something else. Haha. And so, something else he will be. Along with some plans for some upcoming units as well. So yeah, main focus today will be touching up the Solar Priest. And painting up Mr. Not Dominion's blah 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 blah. So, yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. Of course, he's on the most amazing epic of tactical rocks, which means I'm probably going to add some extra rubble and stuff around him to make it look nice, or look right. Look, he has 2 pistols. That's pretty cool. And so yeah, why not just part it out separately, just make it easy. And, I've got an unhelmeted head. I plan to try to do an unhelmeted dude again. So yeah, that's what will be done today. So let's get right into it. Also, it may not seen during other streams and stuff, my paints are like gathering all over here. I got a little container tray to hold all my commonly used paints. Or well, not only commonly used paints, it's the paints I'm using right now. I'm making this little tray thing to put in my airbrush booth. So yeah. Let's not show my dick on screen. Pretty much, aha! Ooh, oh, thigh. And a booba mouse pad. And Vaseline. Yes, you know that. Yes, exactly. So, yep, that's my workspace. We just readjust. Oh god, my ring light. My ring light's not. Nah. Boom. Okay, so, yes. Let's see. Let's work on Slaughter Priest first, since he's almost done. I just need to really touch up some small bits on him, like that little bit on his helmet, his sword, and some bits of the ball and chain. So I'm going to need some of my silver, which is aluminum. Vallejo model aluminum. One of the best hand-brushable silvers you can get, I feel, in my personal opinion. Very smooth. It's smooth silver. If you want speckled silver, go with that Belcher. What else? The Rune Lord Brass has been doing me well for the trim, so I'm going to keep using that. I've got a new appreciation for Rune Lord Brass. Although this is also very thin. You do not want... Okay, maybe it's my pot is old, but I've heard some others. It seems to be very thin. You do not want to you don't want to wet your brush too much when you're working with this. Else it becomes way too runny. As that. What else? My bone white, which I use on all the helmet tusks and things. And actually, while we're here, let me just look. Yeah, that is a stud. That's a stud there, and that's a little nick. So that is an armored plate on his thigh. Without any trim on it. I'm wondering, do I make that a red plate instead, just to match with the theme? But then, to be too red. No, I think I just go... Gunmetal? Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, the rest of it, those chains are dealt with, his back skull thing. Yeah, I think just fix up his horns, add the sword trim, and then dry brush a little silver on the blades, and we're good. And then I'll say painting his tactical rock until I know what basing I use. I can use a similar color. So then I'm kind of... I don't know. It's like I can be very creative when it comes to the do's and stuff. When it comes to the basing, it's like basing, ground. What is ground? How does ground work? How does earth work? Well, probably I should just get a basing material of earth because I have sand, dark mud. I should get a regular mud. I have regular mud actually. Hold on. I say that. I thought I did get a regular mud. One second. I'm digging. I'm digging up my mud. I get. Oh, here we go. I do. Oh. Hey, never mind then. There we go. I solved that. I think I do have mud. Oh, there we go. I found my mud. Just needed to dig up there a little bit. I found it. Anyway, let's get a brush. Probably good enough. Stick this entire thing aside and let's get the palette going. But yeah, the recent typhoon we had, while I was got a lot of sleep and relaxed a bit, but like that's through a bunch of events off schedule. And so the guys I was rushing to paint these up for the is going to be rescheduled now. We don't know when. Which I can be a little bit. I can work a little bit slow on them to make them look nicer now. Or I can go back to the other half-finished projects I have, which were put on the sideline for this. It's like, well, oh shit. So yeah. Also, I got this arrived in as well. This is a bunch of 3D printed little, the front skirty things. Those are those Spartan skirt front pieces. Because I had an idea for a kit bash, and I thought, oh look, there's someone top out, order it. And I was like, oh shit. Well, I'm not sure. It was just like, oh wow, you give me that many in one printout. Well, okay then. Well, I've got the front skirt things for days now. So huzzah. But yeah, let's see. Let's go what's easiest to do first. Let's do the bone on the helmet. Just a spot of bone white. Lovely. What just fell? Oh, the base. Well, not the base. A base. A base. Oh, I didn't buy putty. Shit, because my putty's been drying out already. Well, I'll magnetize them later then. We'll magnetize the base later. Anyway, just a spot of water. There you go. You. And I'm just going to very carefully. Hold on. Camera focus. There we go. Now we got camera focus at the height which I'm holding the models. Just very carefully touch up. And again here. Touch it up. Okay. Let's see. Just a little bit more of this to the front of these spikes on his arm. Just as a highlight. There we go. This brings out a little bit of detail there. Oh yeah, also, I need to, as I've been reminded, I need to dot his nipples. And I think just going with the slightly darker paint, skin paint, will work with just a little spot on the nips. Just a little nip on the nip, you know what I mean? Let's get some dwarven skin. Just the smallest amount. Applied to the very tip of my brush. And then, in a very controlled manner, we dot over the nip and a little bit around it. Now, I'm not sure how visible that's actually going to be, but nope. We'll let it a little. See how it looks when it dries. I don't want to do too much with this, but still. While that dries, what was I doing again? Oh yeah, so there's some sword trim to do. So let's get the Hlunod brass. And well, tissue to dry my brush for a bit again. This paint is actually quite thin on its own already. There we go. Okay, let's need a bit more. Slightly damp. Dollop a bit. Right there. Okay. Oh. Go. Entire back part of it. The top edge. Very nice. I don't be able to see this angle. I'm just getting the rest of the edge. Okay. Now for the inside. Awkward positioning. So. Okay. The edge. Okay, there we go. We're gonna blast that little trim part on the sword. And now, let's get a little bit of a white brush. Some silver. Yeah. Spot a small bit there. Get a bit of plastic. This is back at some cheapo flock I have. I got a load a small bit of silver on the brush. And then we'll slide it back forth here. Prepare it for a dry brush. That looks good. And I'm just gonna dry brush along the front edge. Very good. Down along the back edge. let's just try to get all these little nicks here highlighted up a bit. A little bit more. Then just a little bit over the chain. Nice. And then let's do a very light over these little spike areas. Just to bring the edges out. There we go. Got a bit of a highlight, we got a little shine of the swords now. A little bit edging on it. Just catch a bit here on top of these little chains. Yeah, perfect. Nice. Okay. Like it's looking good. Like a tiny bit here. Just the tiniest bit on the little piercings. Like so. Okay, good. I like that. So then now, the guess I can just do his basing. Let's see. Right, good. So I only glued down that rock. Which means I should be able to very carefully lever him off the base. Keyword's keyword. Or maybe, no, I can just leave it there, because I can lift his foot up slightly when I do the basing. It's fine. Well, spin you right round, baby, right round. So, first off. Actually, what does he stand? Oh, I just thought that was a tactical rock. He's standing on a giant skull. Oh, okay then. Well, that changes that. Okay then. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get a slightly bigger brush. And then let's just get some bone white going on that. Holy shit. Load up. Nah, that dried already. Bit more. There we go. Go very carefully. Just get that around the boot. We're going to definitely put a wash over that to bring out the detail later. There we go. There we go. That's going to get washed down a lot. I just want to get that there first. Let's get this diorama FX muddy brown. We're browning it up, mates. We're browning it up. I'm browning it up live on stream, even. It's browning time. Oh. Ooh, nice. Give me that. Bam up. Nope. This should be sufficient to cover. Just carefully spread it around. Especially here under the foot. There. Scoop up the excess. Shift it round to the back. Yep. Yep. Tissue. My fingers. Spoon up the excess, shift it around to the back here. Go. Bring it around. Outside here. Just blend it into that skull basing. Go. Swipe the excess back into the pot. There we go. That looks about good. So good old just gonna finger the base a bit to clean up the edges. Wipe off. First we finger, then we clean. As always. Always clean after you finger. Mutual cleanliness. How you clean it though? No, that's up to you, mates. There. And I think you know what? You know what? I've had that thing clattering around for ages. Now where did I put it? Okay. It's been clattering around my area for a while now, and now I can't find it when I need it. Where did I put that? Yeah. Nope. Have I seriously lost it on the day when I planned to use it? Perfect. That's a little box of grass tufts and stuff. It seems to be not within my visual range right now. I could have sworn I saw it the other day. Nope. Did I put it here? Nope. Did I put it there? Nope. Oh, I can add grass tufts. I can add the grass tufts later. That's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so that's the muddy ground he's on. That paint looks like it's dried up enough, so that skip the not Reichland Flesh shade. I want it much darker. Agrax Earth shade with a shitty blush. That's this is shitty enough. That is well caked. Shake it, dampen it a little. grab a bit of it. And then just immediately just apply it over the skull. There we go. It's working in. Let's have the skull blend in a bit with the brown of the mud. There we go. Let's get a little bit more of it. And then just a spot more here. There we go. That looks good. Okay, let's clean up this shitty ash brush. Even in the budget shit, it can still serve a purpose in the future, so keep your brushes. Unless they outright break on you. And when they do break, you might find use them later. Anyway, let us see. Ooh, no, I'm not going to directly PM you who do not follow me, quote, epic streamers, who with a blue check mark. That is one of the most sus messages I've received in a while now. Hold on, let me just... I found an article, let me just save it. 1 second. Un momento. I am ever so slightly distracted. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a moment. Okay, continuing on. So, let's see. Slaughter Priest, I don't want to touch anymore until his basing material dries, I think. Let's see. Actually, maybe get a bit more red. I slightly over dry brushed the silver on that shoulder pad, and I lost some of the red in that process. Let's return some of that red back to it. Mephistohead. Just a small bit. Not too much. We'll just reinforce it a bit here. Yeah. Okay, there we go. That should dry up nicely. Yeah, okay, I like that. Okay, Slow Priest. You just have to get your rim blacked up a bit later. But that's maybe for later. After the basing material dries, because last time I painted near the basing material, something got into the brush and it dried and it kicked at the brush. So yeah, if you put basing material glue down where you might put your paintbrush, let it dry fully before you go in, else you're gonna ruin the brush. Again, I use cheap brushes, it's just annoying going through brushes over and over again. Anyway, continuing on. Let us see. Side. So continuing on now, while this Solar Priest dries, just stuff it like that, so you can have a better view from the camera. Yeah. Let's work on the character I wanted to work on, because he should be Pretty simple to do. First up, where's my Doom Metal? There we go. And then, where's my gun metal at? No, dark steel. I want more contrast, especially when I'm using mainly dark colors. I want more contrast on my things. Where else? Where? I don't want, not the silicon gray. Where's my non-oil at? What the fuck? Where's my non-oil? Hold on a sec. Kundo. Let me rummage for that paint. Nope. 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 Belcher. That is, oh shit, that is almost empty. Well, that's a problem now, isn't it? Have another one? Nope. Because I'm gonna DIY my own non-oil then, with a lot of glaze materials. Blah. And let's see. Just a spot of black paint, a lot of glazing liquid. It should be good. Keywords should be good. Let's see what else. Rummaging and browsing, browsing and rummaging. Suppose get a little bit of gold, just in case. Mephiston red, obviously, and Emperor red. Emperor red and Demon red for highlighting. My skin tone's set because I'm going to have an open helmet. Yeah, I think this will do. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. First off, let's go with the good old make everything Doom Metal first. That is the great first step with my death company nowadays. So just going to use a nice wide brush and Doom Metalify everything. Hold on, I am scratching my butt. Butt is now scratched. Shake, shake, shake. Little spot right there we go. Very nice. Dampen slightly. Is that too thin? Might be too thin. Let me get some more paint out. There we go. Just a little bit more. Okay, let us test with Wonder Legs first. Alright, that's looking good. Just make the entire thing the Doom Metal as the base color. Other leg. Very nice. I'll put moves robotic leg in the lighter metal later. Let's just even out the paint here a bit. What? There you go. 2 feet. A bit more. Let's hit that body. All over everywhere I can reach. Yep. All the hands and stuff. I just get a little bit of metallic going on the sword as well. Perhaps whatever color's going to be later. Okay. So we got full coverage. But jetpack. Slather all over. Very nice. Every angle. Nice. Then his smaller bits, I guess. Part of this shoulder pad for sure. Yep. His pistols, no, those would be other colors. Okay, so that is the Doom Metal handle. Clean the brush. Tissue. There we go. Let's start working on small inner pieces. So as always, the undersuit color. Sometimes can do black. Otherwise, I've been finding Panzer Dark Rubber. It's a nice, well, rubbery look. Yeah, it's right here. Shake it up first. Here's a little spot there. And then also the tiniest spot of black. Yeah. No. Need a thinner brush for this work. So I got a little bit of black. Okay, need more black actually. Yep. There we go. Looks more like it. Gonna hit all the little rubber areas. Carefully. Spot in here. And here. Nope. Nope. Okay. So wait, the head. Just the neck piece. Around. Yeah. Carefully. Okay. Also, while I'm here as well, the back of that headpiece also is the metal. So, do metal around this. Very carefully. So it's a bad angle. It's on a long paint stick. Down here. Okay. So now the face and the hair left alone. Cool. Clean up. Okay, let's see. Now, let us do some of the other color blocks, which is going to be like the dark steel. That's going to be over like the prosthetics and stuff. Let's do that. This area here. Around. So. Yep, so we have a dark steel foot. The upper is going to get darker later when I do the wash. Just have to get to the wash stage first. Same thing here. Yep. Same for the other. There we go. Here's the robotic arms are done. Not sure to do the color of his vessel yet. Let's just, while we're here, some dark steel on the little raised bonding studs. Carefully. Nice and easy. suppose also this little vest thing he has on his, across his chest. Also the shoulder trim. So. Okay. A little bit in there. Guess this entire belt buckle can go that color first in preparation for the next layers. Right, okay. About the rest of that strap belt thing. Right, okay. Continuing. Hello, Render Chaos. How goes? Welcome. I'm doing a little Horus Heresy mini. At first, I was working on this Slaughter Priest here. He's pretty much done. He just let the base dry, and then I have to do the rim. And now I'm working on this 30k Blood Angels character, which I'm going to use as a Death Company captain in my army. And now just color blocking the parts that need to be different colors. Hope you're having a lovely day. And just very carefully blocking in what needs to be different colors first. With this dark steel. I might have to go up to silver later. We'll see how the contrast goes after it. Just hitting anything that is not going to be the black color. And can plausibly be just a different metallic color. Like all the vents and stuff. Nice. But yeah, otherwise you're just having chill time. Recent Typhoon screwed over a lot of the scheduling, so now no longer rushing for anything really. I'm just doing my own thing now. Finishing up, starting projects I want, finishing up projects I started on. You know, just enjoying myself. There we go. Just lighten it up first. Right along. And I saw a lot of them, they do this outer trim part a different color, so I'm going to do that as well. Uh-huh. But yeah, just pretty much. This is going to be my Death Company captain because I don't have a Death Company captain with Jump Pack. And I see potential uses for it in this current 11th edition situation. Of course, I'm also going to have to build my other 10 Jump Pack Horus Heresy Marines for the lead because now he and the chaplain are going to be fighting over my current 10-man. But, you know, baby steps. Just work on as we go. Also, I have another spearhead to build and paint up as well, but I've YOLO'd one spearhead already. I'm going to make it look really nice, finish up, do some 40k stuff, then work on the next spearhead. There we go. Go 40k game, 50 minutes. Oh, cheers. Have a good luck with the game. Pick up new land. Oh, you got a Redeemer. Nice. Bought for a 2-liter Coca-Cola. Nice. That is a great trade, I'd say. It's a bit expensive to run, but it is quite powerful still. I've been trying to find ways to fit into my list. Which, with the recent Aggressors points buff, it's like, A Land Raider Redeemer with 6 Flamestorm Aggressors just going up the board. And like a leader, like the Travis Captain, is like, there's something to that, I'd say. Yep. There. These little race symbols, they're going to probably be gold later. This guy's got so many details to him, I'm probably going to go with, I guess, like, Order Style Death Company, where they have a lot of fancy gold trims on them as well. But first, let me just mark them out with this light dark steel first, just to bring it to my attention when I get to it. Yep. I think that's plenty good for the jump pack for now. Every time you had one you didn't use, I was fully a coke time $9 squeeze. Did $45 as normal, but I wouldn't take just 2. Damn, that is a good value, sir. Flops your buddy for that. Well, that I would say good luck with the Land Raider. Land Raiders are always useful. Just only thing is that a lot of the compared terrains make it hard for it to travel, but it can be made to work. I think. Let's see. This trim here. Yeah. Well, enjoy that Land Raider. Hope you can put it to good use. They're saying that the Aggressors got their points buffed. Then 80 points for 3 of them now. 165 for 6 was like, yeah, not too bad. Like, maybe, maybe they're now cheap enough to be worth trying some shenanigans with. Let's see how it goes. Just, I'm here, just handle whatever these weird pistols he has. Paint those up before I forget. Let's see. Getting him 2 liter, go 24 cat, 8 liters. Yeah, we go. Yep. That is real good of you, mate. Real good of you, buddy, and real good of you. 6 aggressive snipe for summons. Nice. Summons as orcs. Haha. I wish you well with that. And maybe 10 Infernus in a drop pod. Haha. I kind of want to do the 10 Infernus drop pod thing as a like aggressive turn 1 play, but I don't have any drop pods. I have 10 Infernus, 5 are painted, but I don't have any drop pods. And I don't really like how the new drop pod is fixed open. I was like, meh. Okay. Silvers on here. I'll just highlight out these spots. Okay. I think that's it for the silver. Well, the gunmetal now. Well, dark steel, which is close enough to all of it. Clean up. 500 with Vulcan Impulsor, firing deck 6. Oh, very nice. Yep. Also, recheck, because I don't think... No 10th edition said they had a rules document saying that you could not Overwatch with firing deck, but I don't think 11th edition has that rule anymore, so you might be able to do that. Which could be funny. But yeah, anyway, so let's see. With that, I think it's time to go to the gold details now. Yeah, we're just going straight to the gold details. And the gold are going to be, of course, good old Retributor Armor Gold. An old classic. I need a little bit more water to clean up now. That's getting a little bit messy. Yeah, I want to do an army one day where it's like as many transports as possible, and it's just a rush up the board, disembark, and do shit. That feels like a fun thing. So transports add up in cost points wise and money wise. Transports are one of the easiest ways Jibber earns money. It's like, I don't know. How much you're charging for these transports? Ew. Really? I gotta pay that much? Anyway, let's do some gold now on the obvious gold parts. It's gonna be fancy as fuck, boy. Yep. The gold details here. Carefully. See, also I want to do like the whole drop pod assault thing as well in my army, but there's like drop pods kind of, unfortunately they kind of suck. Really not worth taking. If I got a drop pod point, I save for like narrative missions or so on, where it's like, you know what, we're not being, well, we shouldn't be that overly competitive with a narrative event. And we can bring more thematic shenanigans. Famous last words where you join an narrative event and everyone brings the most meta tier list possible. Yep. Should go. I might repaint those skulls in bone white instead later. I feel like that's... The bone white is still a Death Company thing for the skulls, at least. Okay, continue on first. Let's do this little hard to reach belt buckle he has here. Around. Ow. No hobby associated with play. Everyone's fine with legend models. Oh, Spartan. Yeah. I was in an event at Legends, and I almost brought the Leviathan Dreadnought. Or two of the Leviathan Dreadnoughts. Just because each of them have 3 hunter-killer missiles, so it's like, reserve them in. Here's 6 hunter-killer missiles out the bat. If you blow me up after the fact, I don't care, because I got 6 hunter-killer missiles out. Unfortunately, no, unfortunately, I didn't go with that. I went with Death Company instead, which still worked out. Especially considering one of the opponents we faced had a fucking Baneblade. I was like, some Legends units have some really funny rules you could use in 40k. Or they have access to some gear that other Primaris things don't have access to. And you could do some random bullshit. Oh, rotate around. You're doing Iron Hands? Now, I was Blood Angels, but I was like, you know what? I did have the Blood Angels of the Wrath and Dreadnought. What if I, brought it in and just say, take 3 Hunter Killer Missiles, go. Would have been funny as heck. But no, I do Blood Angels, and I'm doing a lot of Death Company stuff, just because I'm feeling like Death Company is the way to go right now in 11th edition, with all the stuff they've changed. They tend to generally be good, regardless of detachment. There we go. And basically, this is actually a where's the box? This is this guy from Horus Heresy, Dominion Zephon. I'm painting him as the Death Company Captain Jump Pack, because I watched Tom and Ben from Yogscast, and it turns out they put his robotic leg on the wrong leg in the model, and he doesn't use a beaky helmet. He uses a Mark 5 helmet, I think. So it's like the model's wrong. Oh my god! So I'm just saying, here's my original character. He's Death Company. He's hallucinating, he's fighting against Horus, and so he's hallucinating he's in the Horus Heresy armor still, like all my Death Company are. So I was like, hey, it's perfect. Around. And he's got a little lantern vessel here on his hip. I'll just lightly tint that the gold while we're here. Okay. Then shake it up. Get some Emperor Red on that sword handle. Oh. Whoop. Okay, that happened. Whoa, whoa, hey, whoa, whoa. Okay, that's a... Oh, that was a lot of it that popped out of that bottle. A lot more than I'm going to be able to use, unfortunately. I'll try to scoop some of it back in later. Not sure how, but I'll try. Go. Round. Clean up. Dry up. Wipe away the excess. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to be the shoulder pad red? Until we got some Death Company. Blood Ginger Death Company. Especially the older Death Company. What? How did you color your sails? Because, oh yeah, you have crosses and stuff, which I can't put anywhere. Hmm. Red drops, gold details, white wings. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. First off, let's do the red blood drops. Go. Then you have a little blood drop on the sword. There we go. Other side of the sword's blood drop. Okay. No more blood drops. Not on this. The knee plate here. Okay. And the blood drop here. Okay. And there's gonna be a little blood drop here. Blood drop applied. Let's see. Let me, is there any way I can get this, all that excess paint back into this? Oh, now you don't come off. Okay, fine. I guess that's just some wasted paint. That's just how it is sometimes. Let's see. Now I think... Ow, my foot. Oh, had my foot at a bad angle for a while now. Let me adjust that. I think what I want to do is I want to do the dark wash I was planning to do first before I start working on all the light white areas. So let's do that. Clean off my brush. Get smallest bit of Abaddon black. Just put it here. And then where's my glazy medium? 1, 2, 3. 3-to-1 glaze medium. Is that... No, I need a bit more actually. 4, 5, 6. 6-to-1 glaze medium. Okay, 6-to-1 glaze medium looks good. Let's now apply this around all the Doom metal areas. Just to nicely darken it down. There we go. It's good. Continuing. There. Come back. All that. Blaze this everywhere. Then body. That should pretty much just glaze over everything except the red spots. There we go. Slather it. All the way around. This one. Glaze over this entire shoulder here. Okay, backpack. Glazing it down. All the way down. On all sides. Okay. Viscous glaze. even it. This shoulder's going to get a lot of work, so I'm not glazing that. Holsters I handle a bit later. Thin this down a bit more. Add some more glaze. And then the thinner glaze on the robotic leg. And arms. So it shines a bit more. And there's going to be a little bit of a silver dry brush on those later as well. Thin glaze. And then a spot on the robotic arms. Okay. There. Let's see. Now, continuing on. Let's work on these holsters. Where's my brown? Rhinox hide. There we go. That's good. Nice little bit of Rhinox hide on these holsters. It's a nice dark brown that we can hide in stuff with later. Go. Just slather it on. Carefully still. One little strap. Pick off the excess paint. There we go. Then same for the other holster. Load up. Apply. Take it around. Carefully apply it. Top. Yep. Down. Any other browns? His leg belt straps. Which I can't do yet because those are still drying from the glaze. Fair enough. So while I wait for those to dry, let us work on this shoulder pad. First off, light gray. Neutral gray. There. And a thin brush. Damp. Prepare. Let's get this area ready for becoming much lighter. So, and a little parchment area here. And the wings. Very good. Rotate. Then same on this side. Like so. Okay. That shoulder pad is pretty much prepared. Now it's got to dry. Then let's go here to prep this part. Go. So the idea is these pieces are going to have the golden wing trim, but then the feathers themselves are going to be a nice off-white. Yep. Same for the actual sword as well. Sword hilt. It'll have the golden trim, but it'll have the white feathers. Go. Rotate. Rotate. Uh-huh. Okay. This piece here. Clean up a bit. What a gold they needed. A spot of gold there shall be. Very carefully. Yeah. Okay. Then tip this headdress. Oh. Okay. Right, that's fine. Clean up the brush. Grab a little bit of red. Fix it up. Okay. Alright, let's see. Where else? Now, your holsters, now that they're dry. And up. Grab the gold. Too thin. Try this first. Put it away. Bit more. And now, very carefully. One. And you, number 2. Very carefully. Okay. Clean the brush up. How is this? It's kind of good enough. It's time. I think it's time I can start getting some bone white on these skulls now. Shake, 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 shake. Let's see. Look, a little bit of bone white. A little dab of water. Dab of the bone white. Don't want it too thin. Now, very carefully. Paint in the skulls. Clean it up a bit. Got back some paint. Yes. Continuing on. Very carefully. All the way around. Clean up. Dry. Wipe away excess. Okay. Continuing on. Tate. Dry up a bit. Poke away the excess. Okay. 3 bone skulls on the jetpack done. Put up some more. Let's make these wings white. Well, bone white first. There you go. Tate. Same with this side. Very carefully. Go. Okay. There we go. Hi, Toesman. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day at work. I've done Big Muscle Man, and I'm working on Raging Berserker Man now. Doing the very careful white details for the feathers and stuff on the Blood Angel wings. How are you doing? Ooh, very carefully. There we go. Yes. Same for this side. Way in there. Nice. We got a bit more. Rotate. Muscle Man, indeed. He'll do the Waterman's thigh squish challenge and win, but replace Watermelon with your skull, and he shall claim it for corn. Go. Now it's just a chill night, just finishing up my little projects here and there. Yeah. I also get this new character ready for shenanigans in regular 40k. There we go. Now the little winged sword is ready. Pretty chill. Oh well. Yep, death by snooze do indeed. Yeah, today's been a chill day as well. Even at work, things went pretty good. And I'm just having fun, enjoying shenanigans, and making a very blingy bling guy here. This is going to need quite a bit of white. Right around. Yeah, again, recent typhoons majorly screwed over a bunch of plans I had over the weekend and events I was joining, so now things are kind of up in the air with some the stuff, which means I'm not really rushing to paint things anymore. I'm taking this chance to do this. You know what? I'm just going to do what I want right now versus rush for an event. So I'm just taking it slow, easy, doing all the small details on models that deserve them, like the Sword of Priest. And it's going more than bare minimum paint scheming. I'm just having a good time. Although I will try to raid out before midnight my time for multiple reasons. One of them being I want to get a little bit extra sleep this week. Also, there's some mutual streamers we know who are celebrating things. It'll be fun to go to them. So I'm just going to see how far I can get. Goodnova, welcome, welcome. That LootTuber tag has been there for a very long time. Almost from the start when I did sussy figures. Well, I didn't do sussy figures. I did sexy figures on stream and sussy figures off stream. Besides, I have a dick punch redeem. That's loot, right? You know, where you redeem it, I get punched in the dick, and then I moan about how good it feels. Yep, it's always been there. I've always been like that. Haha. Did I miss a gold detail on this? That kind of looks like a... That looks like that's a gold detail that extends down, actually. Wait a second, let me look. Oh, actually, look. Let me look at the box. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Let me see your shoulder pad. Do you have a picture of your... Wow, you don't... Wow, you don't have a picture of your shoulder pad at all. It looks like from how they've done it, is they did a white order at the end, so I'll do it white at the end. Gets part of the finger stuff. Hey, 5-stream streak, nice. Celebration! Ooh woo. Thank you for streaking 5 times, Toesman. I appreciate the view. With those sexy, naked toes of yours everywhere. Pitter-pattering about. and around. There you go. So one side of the wing's done. Now to just follow along the parchment. I'm just doing the parchment and the bone white as well. Then I'll come back and do the parchment, another layer on parchment for like a lighter white. Again, especially when dealing with white, you really want to build up in layers. You can't go all one go instantly. That's why I did like the neutral gray layer first. There we go. I had first game with Tao to score 1 win plus 1 draw, 3 loss. Hey, well, congratulations with Tao. I hope you're enjoying it. As I've been trying to find ways to do the new detachment combinations in 11th, and it's been fun trying to find combinations, but then it's like, oh god, I need to remember this combination now of all this bullshit I was doing in one go. Fuck. So I was like, ugh. It's quite the mental load to handle, actually. Go. There. Just throw that out. Then let that dry first before I touch it again. And do this touch-ups and stuff. Boom. And then, okay, well, I have this big dollop of red that popped down my paint pot. And then we now just do the red on the blood drops here. There we go. Yeah, I haven't had actually many games in 11th edition just because other events came up or I was sick and otherwise. And I'm hoping from this week onwards I can solve that and get some 2K games in at least. I got a boarding actions game coming up. I'm going to try some bullshit with it and see how it goes. Hopefully it's going to involve this very character I'm painting right now. And the current rate I'm painting, I should definitely have them done in time. But, oh, this has some little wings here as well. Yeah, very carefully. So, this is real small, so... There. Okay. But yeah. Also, aggressors, they went down points by a lot. 80 points for 3 aggressors now. It's like, oh... what can I do with that? It's like, I'm thinking, foot slog them, maybe... Land Raider, maybe Land Raider redeem them up. Yeah. You know, some shenanigans and a half. But yeah. Anyway, let's see. What else can I do? Those are pretty much good and done. This will need another layer when it dries up. This could use some paint fixes right now, so I'm going to do that. Do a dot. I'm saving the head for last. I might just leave the head for another day to ensure I can get maximum focus when doing it, since it is a bare helmeted head this time. So I'm going to have to deal with skin and stuff. Go, clean it up, and then spotted Doom Metal at the bottom of that one. There we go. There. So again, no real plan for today. Think all schedules went off the rails. So yeah, just gonna see it. How far I can get, and if I can get all the way, then holy shit, then that'll be great. And let's see. Do I have that neutral gray still available? No, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. I'm just going to neutral gray this entire tactical rock he's going to be standing on. Then I can just convert it to what the other thing I need it to be later. Neutral gray, then like a bone white dry brush to bring out its details. So yeah, there we go. Good enough. Can't rush. Riptide, Breach Squad, Hammerhead Gunship, Ethereal, Crisis Suit versus Uriel, Lancer, Intercessor, Eradicates, Ballistas, Dreadnought. Showing a 500-point count to play with what I have. Oh, okay. Not bad. Uriel, Ventress, Lancer, Lancer, Ballistas. Yep, that's the good old Space Marine anti-armor combo. Although it is... That's the good old one you see online, but it's I find it's a bit lackluster. Most because people with invuln saves decide, oh no, I'm just going to invuln everything. Get screwed. So yeah, there we go. Like that, like that, like that. I think... Ah, silver! Where's my silver? I need to make the sword silver. Let's get a nice, bright power sword going. And whammo. There we go. That's more like it. God of Vallejo Mecha Color Aluminum. Just wham. Wham. Wham it inside here. Sides. There, look at that. Now that's a nice silver power sword. Let's spot that. Okay. Nice. I guess, but yeah, how did that game go? Were you able to who was it? This is Riptide Gunship. Were you able to insta kill his anti-tank stuff? So if you can do that, then you got the game in your favor. Until you get to the objectives, again, the holding of the close range objectives is going to be an issue for Tau, I feel. And then now, where's my flesh shade? I need to give some detail to those skulls. Oop. Where's a spot of... Coming up. Dry it off a bit. It's a bit too much, I think. Yeah, okay, that's decent enough. I think that's good. I think it's just start assembling. He lost. Oh, squad's gone down. Oh, the squad's got everything down. Dang. Because yeah, that's because your opponent also had mostly ranged, and this is supposed to be like the melee edition. So it's like, oh, both of you are ranged. Interesting. I suppose that Uriel and Eradicators is going to be a big issue to deal with, unless you can shoot them first. Okay, close that first. Let's see. Let's pull this off. I think pull this off. I can start just assembling some bits of you together now with super glue so that they can be snapped apart later. But also, yeah, were you doing like the 10th edition or 11th edition like disposition missions and stuff, or were you just doing like just a your regular mission? Because that actually does majorly change how you build your list and play. Like, you gotta build for your force disposition if you're following it. Super glue there. Come on. Fit back in. There we go. A little bit tacky still, but good enough. There we go, look at that. Purge the foe versus taken hold. Oh, okay. I suppose you were purge the foe. Yeah, I suppose unless you had some more close range stuff, you would have issue with taking the objectives as a purge. Also, in purge, you have to be... In weirdly, purge, you have to be the patient killer, because it rewards you for killing more than you lost. So you have to be sure not to overkill your opponent and leave no targets for later. Yeah, there's actually quite a bit of finesse needed for purge the foe, actually. Especially if you have an opponent that can just wipe your units out easily. So, yeah. Wait, takes practice. Again, new edition, new bullshit we all have to get used to. You'll get him next night, champ. Bit. Hey, some more beer glue. Get that gun here. Haha. There we go. One of his pistols. Other side. Let's see. It's gonna be like that, I think. Yep. There's a spot more here. And then slam it in. Oh, come on. Come on. Uh-huh. Perfect. No, fit into the groove. Like so. Yeah, like that, like that. Sorry about just focusing on this not. But yeah, so if I Purge of Foe Purge of Foe, actually you do need to be the patient killer with it. And have to be very careful not to lose too many of your units in the turn. Like, funny enough, the best way to beat the Purge Foe player is to purge them faster than they purge you, because you deny them the points. So it's like, try to set up to kill 2 of their units while only losing 1 of yours in return. Then the Purge player loses the 5 points bonus for killing more than they lost. While take and hold is, well, part of that is basically hide in the terrain and take and hold the terrain. That's it. You just have something that can survive that. And again, if the opponent doesn't have good close combat like Tau, they're kind of swimming. So yeah, I think that was a tough matchup then, for sure. But hey, just take some. Fact, we all gotta practice. We all gotta figure out the metas and stuff. Like as Blood Angels, my main detachment is Liberated Assault Group, which is known for charging and dying. Not good at holding, and they got taken hold as its disposition. It's like, So now the entire meta change for Blood Angels, Liberated Assault Group at least, is now, well, a lot of Blade Guard and a lot of Terminators for the holding part. So I was like, okay, you know. Basically, using other mods I didn't use much before, as we figure out the meta and stuff. Oh, look at this. He's like, he's leaping into combat. Wow. He's looking pretty good. Now, this shoulder pad does need that work, as well as the inner shoulder as well, but let's see. I need to get this little text ribbon part a lighter color. And I think now it's time to go with a ivory. Ivory is not exactly pure white. It's a slight off-white, but it's going to look white compared to the bone white I've used. It's all about relativity. Also, the big cadre headquarters building doesn't fit. Oh! The cadre headquarters doesn't fit! Oh no! Yeah, that's the pain. I said, I was in like a 2v2 event, and we faced an enemy Baneblade on one of the teams. Unfortunately, the Baneblade kind of had to just deploy and then stay in that single firing line because it could not make it fit itself through any of the terrain after that. It's like, okay, this one firing line is instant death, but then that's it. We just ignore that firing line, and we kind of the Baneblade didn't actually cause us as much issue as it could have. And it was like, okay then. Well, that happened. But yeah, the terrain is, especially with the more terrain in this current edition, because you take all the terrain profiles, you really gotta have some way to get the mobile keyword on your vehicles. Otherwise, they're kind of just gonna get stuck behind stuff and not able to move anywhere. Which can be a pain in the behind, sure. A right or pain in the booty hole, even. Yeah, we gotta get used to this and adjust to it. Again, it's called the Melee Edition for a reason, because infantry can easily get past that terrain, but vehicles can't. Yep. Yep. There we go. That's a much whiter white compared to the bone around it, so that should be good. And while that dries, I also fixed up the inside of this with the dark steel. There we go. But yeah, that's why it's like I stopped using my Land Raider for being tournaments, because I hit some maps where it's like, oh, the Land Raider literally can't fit through this terrain at all. And they can only go this one specific path, which is instant death. It's like, yeah. Again, adjustment of playstyle, also adjustment of disposition, because now the Land Raider doesn't need to get all the way to the enemy. What it needs to do is present an Overwatch threat and maybe step into a building to get some OC. And I was like, yeah, this. Gotta try things. Gotta try a bunch of different things. Anyway, with that, I feel that's pretty good right now, I think. Can I? That needs to see a little bit more bone white on it. Just to touch up a spot on his eye socket. Okay, good. Clean up. Quarter houses are better, but still too much room for your 20. Yeah, exactly. That's also the issue with like drop pods as well for Space Marines. Like, the drop pod's great, but it's so fucking big now, you can't stick it anywhere in the first place. On a tournament map. But it's like, yeah. Just, yeah. Alright, now I should get this. Yeah. Spot of cement. Well, glue. And then slam this in place. Don't tell me I need to put the shoulder pad on first before the jump. Never mind, it fit in. Never mind, I got it in. I got it in, guys. I found the hole and I got it in. There. There we go, look at that. Perfect. So let that dry. So what I have left is his head to do. And then maybe some work on his base, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Anyway, head. Let's first, where's my... let's get a nice clean brush. So I'm going to clean off my small brush. Swirl it in the brush soap from Tamiya, conditioning fluid. Swirl it again, dry it off. Do that on my next brush as well. While we're conditioning it, let's just condition multiple brushes. So Joe finally points an army of Storm Surge and Breeder team someday. Ha! That'll be funny. Like, here's a big single fuck you unit. Okay. New water. Yep. Clean the brush. Clean the brush. Good. Alright, let us see. Skins. What's my timing like? Okay, I think I've got enough time to work on the head. Let's go with... that's the elven skin. Dwarven skin. I like... where's my barbarian brawn at? Actually, no. I don't think we do a good brawn. We can go dwarven skin first as the base. There we go. Dump a bit of water. Get a bit of skin paint. Well, I'm not sure. Do canvas paints work? Canvas might not. They might be too thick or not enough pigment. Usually the issue is the insufficient pigment or it's just too thick. Unless you have a way to thin it down, you can try and see. But the main issues I've heard is just basically either insufficient amount of pigments for small amounts. Supposedly hobby paints have a extremely high concentrated pigment on them to make them pop a lot compared to other paints. Although science at the end of the day, you just gotta YOLO and test yourself. Well, let's see. Come on, get the already exposed skin base colored first. Okay, that's the skin. And also for the hair, let's do the good old Bloody Angel blonde hair sort of shenanigans. So that's first with blonde hair. I'd like to start with khaki first as a base color to the blonde. Yep, spot of khaki. They can bring it up with some like sandy cut, like highlight it with some sandy colors later to make the actual blonde. Uh, Just around the edges. There. Okay. Got the better deals and paints because $4 for a single color is not bad by 29 size. Yep. I mean, like again, it's basically your own variabilities, but I make use of mostly Vallejo and two thin coats. That's it. Yeah. Two thin coats from Duncan Roads and just miscellaneous brands of Vallejo lines. And then a few GW ones just because I found nothing better. Like the Retributor armor is just amazing. It's worth the price, the exorbitant price, I'd say. So yeah. Yeah, I see some people they test like hobby store paints, IKEA paint stuff, and usually it's a case of it's cheap or very thin on pigments, mostly fillers, and so you really don't get good paint color coverage when you use them. Which is that's the main issue I've seen everyone mention. Nope. Okay, so we gotta let that dry a bit. And then I'll have the lighter skin tone to hit the top ridges with. Just gonna be some elven skin. Noting that I'll be using Reichland Flesh Shade after that to darken it again, so going over light on the skin is not too big of a deal. Also, while I let that dry second, where is my sandy yellow? I do have a sandy yellow somewhere here that I did for hair on my bolt action dudes. It's just I've sorted my paints, but then my paints are also in drawers that are really deep in these drawers here. There's a deep yellow I can try to use for that. What's this? Sun yellow. I want sun yellow. I want sand yellow. I could have sworn I had a sandy yellow color that was brighter than khaki. Let me check. That is a canvas. Is it one of my paints that where it's separated all the colors? So I can't tell immediately what color it is. No. I am just not seeing it. I don't know. Bone white actually, because it's yellowy white, works with a little bit of yellowed into it, so maybe I can look at it like that as well. No, I had a sandy yellow, which was brighter than khaki. Where? Oh, hold on. Wait. No, that's darker. Where is it? That's bootstrap brown. It's just gone missing forever into the abyss. Mayhaps. Oh well. Work with what I got. First off, let's now carefully a bit some elven skin. We're going to hit upper sides of all the head areas here. Very carefully. Leaving the contours intact as best as I can. go. Smoothing this out a bit. As it dries. Okay. Give that a second. I'm going to just get a bit more bone white out. And this flat brush I have here. Load a little bit onto it. Just a little bit of bone white on it. And then blah, blah. Make a nice light dry brush. And very carefully dry brush this bone white over the khaki. There we go. That's giving a bit more of a blondie look to this. Very good. Was we're successful in making diagrams inside of a transport? You mean the cross sections? So I think there's some books where they have the cross sections, but they models in the 40k game itself are actually not to scale for the infantry. They're a slightly smaller scale, so it's not going to fit the models themselves, unfortunately. They did some weird choice by doing it like that. Dampness. Load up. Then let's get your little fangs. And then your eye. Okay. Clean up. Dry it off. Dry it off, I said. Like so. Actually, oh wait, oh, hold on. There, got a dry brush with the white from the eyes and stuff. That should be good. Alright, alright, alright. What I'm going to do is open space, so and hammerhead, then we'll try it next time. Oh yeah, you can try. See what happens. There we go. Okay, so taking a little bit of focus here, just to handle the little details around this area. Okay. Then, where's that off-white I was using? Ivory. Yeah, so hey, do what you can. Just know that some, like, especially space movie vehicles, are definitely not the scale. Maybe get that little guy sticking out and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that gives a little bit of a character to your model. Okay, can I now? Very carefully. Yes. Uh-huh. There we go. And now for the very careful flesh shade to bring it all together. Where's my flesh shade at? Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Heavily thin flesh shade. So first, heavily thin. Tiniest about. Right there. Let's now bring it together. Oh, good, good, good. Now we dry off the excess. And use the excess on the hair itself for the recesses. Yeah, and this is not a masterful amount of work, but I'd say it's a decent amount of work for a head on a mini from a distance away. Yep, fix it up a bit. There we go. I'd say that's good enough. Let's give that a bit of a moment to dry, and then I can stick it on. And then, holy shit, I have a second character fully painted in one go. Get small little deals here and there to finish up. I mean, small details. Anyway, let's see. Where's his base? While we let the head dry a bit, look at the base. Let's grab this guy off the base as well. So he's supposed to just go on like that. I like, feel, let me first let's center his body first. So his body centered is like this. Okay. So I feel like the base would look rather plain unless I had something extra on it. What do I have to be something extra on the base? Do I have my little rocks nearby? I'm getting my rocks out. Ugh. Give me those rocks. Yeah. There we go. I'm wondering, these rocks. I think one of the flatter rocks might work, just to give an extra piece of visual interest alongside that big sticky up piece. Like that, like that. Yeah, let's try these three rocks and see which of those will look nice. Probably, I think the smaller one's gonna look nice. Yeah. So this centers on the base. Maybe. Not sure, actually. First, I think I'm just going to super glue that thing onto the base. I don't need to be too careful with the basing material around it. It helps blends it in anyway. Let's just get this on the base itself first. With the body as centered as possible. Yeah, like that, like that, like that. Okay. So, from top down, the body is centered on the base. And he's just launching himself forward like this. Maybe, hold on, we just adjust it slightly. Like this. Okay. That looks about right. Head. Head's going to take a moment. Let's just get the double glue in. There we go. The double glue. Stick head in. There we go. Look at that. Ah! Can I put further forward? Yeah. More glue. Like so. There we go. Okay. Right. All right. Good. Uh-huh. There we go. Look at that. Then, would an extra piece of rubble here look right? Something a bit more jaggedy. Like that. Hmm. Something like. Let me see. Kind of like that, I guess. Over some dark mud. So I'll take these little stones to the side and use them later. Let me get a brush. Let's paint the stone gray. Give. Where's that? Neutral gray. Here it is. Shake, shake, shake. Uh-huh. I have no way to hold the stone as I reach around the other sides of it. So, well, shit. Carefully. Touch up the corners, just to paint all the sides. paint on my fingers, but that's fine. Yeah. There we go. One grey stone to glue on later. There's my tissuette. Sort that down. Let's see, okay. Let's see, what time is it? 11:42, I think. You know what? I think that's just a good amount of progress I just got. Pretty much got 2 characters almost done in one go. One needed a bit more touch-ups than the other, but huzzah. Let me quickly put these paints aside, and then do a quick show-off, and then we're going to go right into somebody lovely in a moment. So stay right there. We're going to be having some fun still. But yeah, so I painted a rock. Check out my rock. My rock is amazing. And then Slaughter Priest has been fully painted. His basic material is drying, and he just has had the base rim done, and he's finished. Just lovely, thick, muscular lad. Looking pretty snazzy and lovely. Oh yeah. And we have my Death Company captain with jump back here now. Whoa! It is leaping into battle. Where? With all his Death Company details and stuff. Didn't actually get a spot to put a cross on him anywhere, so I'll try to figure that out later. What was that? Maybe I'll just paint like something red on him later. Because yeah, there's really nowhere good to put a cross unless I put on this crotch, but I don't want to cross the crotch. So, yeah, I'll figure that out. But yeah, there we go. 2 lads. That rock, when it's dry, I'll just glue onto this base and I'll just stick some mud on it. And yeah, huzzah. Wow. The height. Yeah, again, so thank you all for coming. Greatly appreciate it. As always, I stream every Tuesday about 10 PM JST. Give or take a bit as I get things ready. My Discord is here. My socials are here. But let us do a lovely raid out, and let's see if we can do this. The timing is perfect, so let's do it. Yes! Here we go. We're going to raid into Winged Messenger. She's a lovely streamer. She's going to have she's doing a birthday countdown. Her birthday is going to be in 15 minutes, so hopefully y'all stay around to wish happy birthday when that happens. Wish happy going. Let's see. Raid message. Raid message is going to be the community has come to wish you a happy birthday. There we go. That's the raid message. Feel free to add any emotes you like to the end of it for shenanigans and stuff. I'm just going to do my pog emote because it's going to be fun. And yeah, thank you for coming. Great appreciate it. You can catch me offline in the Discords and the social medias. And yeah, until next time, away we go. Bam! Aha.